Good afternoon. I brought you here today to have a look at another ukulele for sale. This is a Mahalo ULDT2 model. ULDT2 meaning a limited edition, and apparently they've made 3 of them. I've got a couple of ULDTs 2s, and I've got a ULDT3 but no 1, so there we are. If I sell this, I'll make a hole and I'll have to fill it with a 1 somewhere. And what we're talking about here is an instrument that, by its make, because these were the people that brought out those multicoloured ones in the early days of the ukulele epidemic, they have a lot of people have a poor opinion of Mahalos. I think they're highly underrated. To go back to the coloured ones, I think they're far better than any of the other coloured ones that were brought out, such as the terrible John Smith models, amongst others. But they all seem to play fairly well to me, and they all sounded rather well to me, the ones that had been through my hands. And dealing with pupils and lots of young people, I've had probably quite a few through my hands, certainly in dozens, maybe even in hundreds. I thought they were good enough to give my grandchildren anyway. So to get down to cases, what makes this one so special? The limited edition models all have one thing in common, and that is the basic tone factor in a ukulele is the wood of the top. And if that wood is made of solid wood as opposed to laminated wood, as this is, it puts them a peg above the laminated ones, because this wood is going to mature, and however well it sounds now, it's going to get mellower and louder as it gets older. So this is solid mahogany, which is as good a wood as any to put on the top of a ukulele. It gives you that nice mellow plonky sound that we all love. Well, I love anyway. Whether you love it or not is entirely up to you. And while we're in that neck of the woods, I'm going to show you the rosette, which is the ring round the sound hole, which is a real pearl, because you can see it changing colour as you turn it round. And it's a sort of greenish, bluish, yellowish pearl, which comes from a clam called the abalone, which is also apparently good to eat. Not that I'm in the habit of watching cooking programmes. While we're also looking at the top, we see that it's, if you wanted to check out, in fact, that it was solid wood, the best way to do it is to look at the edge of the sound hole, and you'll see there's no laminations there. It's all one colour. Anyway, you can't see these sides because that is bound very nicely with a lighter wood, which I think is maple, but I can't be exactly certain about that, because it's got this orangey varnish over the top, which I think is a little bit of overkill, really. The wood on the sides is very sort of unprepossessing, but the back looks quite nice. Apparently, can you see the curl in that grain? I've just caught the light right there. This is a wood that they tell me is called Malapoga, which I have never heard of. It could come from a Disney film, as far as I know. Never heard of it before. But they do use a lot of unusual exotic woods nowadays, because they're running out of the classic woods like coalwood and maple and mahogany even. So there we are. That's quite nice, isn't it? And that same wood is on the peghead fascia, which I showed you that, because you can see the little bit of curl in it there. It's quite attractive. While we're up there, we see that those non-slip pegs are gold plated. They're very plain and simple, but they work very well. Oh, and look, they're all in line, so it must be in tune. I'm amused because I tuned this up just before I was going to do this little bit of video, and I came across a peculiar phenomenon which I've seen before, heard before, and that is that the ukulele was relatively in tune, but it was sharp, and you wonder why this happens. Well, I told you I had two of these models, and one of them was, the other one's tuned to C, and this one was tuned to D, and they're sort of standard Aquila set on here. So I tuned them down a tone, but we then came upon this phenomena called delayed elasticity, which means that they want to go back to the original tuning all of their own accord. So although it's relatively in tune, it's gradually contracting the strings to go back to where it was. So it may take a little bit of settling down into C, or you may want to put a new set of strings on. Let's look at some of the other little details. The nut and the bridge saddle are something called newborn, which is a harder kind of a plastic. And the bridge saddle, although you can't see it very well in this shot, is compensated, which means it allows for the thickness of the strings, the thicker strings needing a longer sounding length to play in tune. It's got very plain simple little position dots in the rosewood fretboard, but it's got the same dots echoed on the side, which is far more useful, because if you're holding a ukulele in a proper position, you wouldn't be able to see the front anyway. You can only see the side, so that's okay, isn't it? One of the things I wish it had, which it's actually got room for, is a 13th fret, because that would make playing a lot of tunes really so much easier if you can get that top B flat there. Songs like Blue Spanish Eyes. But I'm not going to play that for you today, because I duff the bit where you have to go up to that note there. Anyway, I finish off this little... I have the feeling I've forgotten to tell you something about it, really. Oh, the neck is NATO. It's just sort of lacquered. That's maybe why it's got this orangey lacquer on. It's to bring it all together. So, anyway, I'm going to finish off with a little, what they call howley ditty. A howley is a white man in Hawaiian eyes, and they write these songs mainly in English, but with a few Hawaiian words in, just for coloration. I'd love to know what the Hawaiian words mean, but you'll have to get a phrase book for that. Anyway, this is called Ukulele Lady, and you can sing along with the first bit if you like, but the second bit I'd like you to listen to the ukulele and see if it sounds nice enough for you to put a bid on. Bearing in mind this has got a lovely hard shell case with it, is Ukulele Lady, as they pronounce it. I love to linger in the moonlight on Honolulu Bay. Memories come to me by moonlight, though I'm far away. And all the beaches are full of peaches who bring their ukes along. And in the glimmer of the moonlight, they love to sing this song. If you like a ukulele lady like you. If you like to linger where it's shady, ukulele lady linger too. If you kiss a ukulele lady and she promise ever to be true, and she sees another ukulele lady fool around with you, maybe she'll sigh an awful lot, maybe she'll cry, but maybe not. Maybe she'll find somebody else by and by to sing to when it's it's cool and shady, where the tricky wicky wackies woo. If you like a ukulele lady, ukulele lady like a you. Maybe she'll sigh an awful lot, maybe she'll cry, but maybe not. Maybe she'll find somebody else by and by to sing to, when it's cool and shady, where the tricky wicky wackies woo. If you like a ukulele lady, ukulele lady like you like me, like I like you, and we both like the same. And I'd like to say this very day, a ukulele lady like a you, a ukulele lady like a you. And that's all. Bye now. Thanks for looking.